You've got generations of, and I hate to keep saying, of vagina. I mean, when Peter gets up and tells this story, he lived it, and he knows, and he's been to the hardcore, and he's been to the seminar, and the spirit is willing, but the flesh is fucking weak. You just can't get it up. They're there on their back. You just can't. You can't get it up. And even though I embarrass you, you still can't get it up. Because when you've gotten it up and you've seen somebody get it up, your grandfather was wiped out in the great lumber crash of 52, yet somebody will get it up. And it's hard to pick them. It just is hard to pick them. In theory, everybody in this room ought to be able to do it. Theoretically, as our daughter said 20 years ago when she went, it's easy peasy, Daddy. And it is. It's fucking dead fucking simple. But, templates, cold calls. You've heard that from everybody so far. Yet, I can, look to your left and look to your right, and they'll be gone. Why won't they find those templates? Tell me. Meathead too. Tell me why.
Because their brain thinks that there's a shortcut.
Correct. Thank you. He's not as brain dead as he looks then. Okay? That's exactly correct. Because everybody that that you've been to the seminars, says there are shortcuts. And they teach you the shortcuts. And there are no shortcuts. Who else is producing billionaires? Nobody. There are no shortcuts. There's no shortcut to a gold medal at the Olympics. There's no shortcuts to a gold medal at the Olympics. The guy that took a shortcut got a bronze. And I've had the privilege of working with Olympians. There aren't any. But it's so inundated in the material out there, outside of this material, that there are shortcuts. They use tips. 10 tips. Sure. That's a disservice to you. But she followed the templates. And some of the words, because English is obviously her not first language, and it doesn't, she's selling in English. But the verbs are conjugated different in French. It's all different. But she had to get over that. And the French are just a pain in the ass, and there's always a shortcut. Notwithstanding, we've bailed them out of a couple of wars, but they still think that there's a shortcut, What else about her? She's 85, 90% on the right track. She's not 100% on the right track. She's replaced board members if they falter, they stumble. Next. And I'm almost positive everybody that she's dealing with is a lot older than she is. Once in a while you get a genius young partner, but that's not too often. But she's in her middle 30s, and she's running 2 other businesses at the same time. And she's paying her bills. She certainly hasn't cash flowed in this thing yet after 3 months, but she's paying her bills out of her existing businesses. And even though people have said that, she's not a U.S. citizen, you can't do this if you're not a U.S. That's bullshit. You can. She's doing it. So you're going to hear that excuse when you go back to your little foreign country, wherever you're from, and that's bullshit. That's a lie. That's another myth. That's another myth. And any questions about her? You really don't want to hear that the system works. Because then when you fail, you've seen it before, Peter. You've seen it before as well. You want somebody to come up here that the fucking system doesn't work. And we've got, And we used to show that because we wanted to show the contrast years ago. But then when the kids would ask, if they weren't smart enough to ask the right question, then I asked, okay, what didn't work about the system? I went straight to the acquisition, or to the sellers. Did you ask the banks if they were within the lending parameters, the free cash flow? No. And I pick it apart, but you just like to hear that it didn't work. If you follow the deal, she got a little ahead of herself when she said while she was interviewing accountants and lawyers, she started to talk to some acquisition candidates, which you're supposed to warm up the banks. But you want to know what's out there. But she did a little that ass backwards, but it worked out, so it didn't hurt her. That's why I say she's only been doing 85, 90% on the money. But if all of you did 85 or 90% on the money, you'd be doing a deal in your fourth month, like she's going to be, which is not the greatest thing since sliced bread, but it's certainly quicker. Any questions about her? She's doing a good job. She's doing a good job. And the guy, you're going to hear another one who was in the, I think she said January, right? We're going to see a guy that was in the February seminar tomorrow. Who? Yeah, Ozen. Okay, Saturday, and who's tomorrow? Oh, John, who's doing a good job too. Chinese kid from Los Angeles. Chinese kid from Los Angeles, but he's still Chinese. I mean, from February, just the last seminar we gave. And we use the webinars that we use because I'm trying to cover as many points with each webinar as I can, but I still want to do some current ones. So that's why we're doing, and we're not always blessed to have somebody that came through the seminar and was successful, like we have Peter here. So we have a January and February that are successful. Yet those other webinars that we're using are ones that covered the points, it's pretty simple. But as Anelli said, I mean, he went back and he spent 2 days in Edinburgh before he went home to get his mind straight, because there was a lot of things he had to do, and he wanted to do them as quickly as humanly possible. So he spent 2 days at the hotel, not whoring around. Well, I don't know if he was whoring around. I don't. But 2 days going over the material, who he's going to get rid of, who he's going to keep, how he's going to turn over his existing business, and then he flew back to South Africa. Anything else any questions about her? Anything not clear? Okay, YouTube, that's it for now. Thank you.